You know, I'm starting to think that my childhood decision of supporting Leeds United might have been a bad one. Preston have beaten Leeds United 2-1, and I have decided to do a quick community ratings post. I'm going to run through everything in this video, but there is one place that we need to start, and it's you subscribing. No, in reality, it's the red card. You can't get away from that. It's a stupid decision that completely swung the game. Illan Meslier got a 1.52 from you guys in this game. Annoying. It was a very daft decision, and you all agreed that what Meslier did was stupid. Silly boy. Meslier is dumb. Lost us the game. Some other things that I can't put in a YouTube video this early into the video because then it will get me ruined by the algorithm. And it's especially telling that Meslier made the mistake rather than the referee because nobody turned on the referee too hard. Sort of average for a referee throughout the season is 4, 5. He got a 3.31, which, fair enough. It's slightly lower than average. He made some iffy choices around their yellow cards. But Meslier was an absolute moron in this. He got a 1.52 because that match entirely swung on him getting a red card because of a stupid decision. Admittedly, their striker absolutely made a meal of it. Did 4 or 5 backflips that would have earned gold medals at the Olympics. However, you push someone in the face, they're entitled to make that response to go, hey, ref, send that guy off. And Meslier fell for it. Not great. Also, you'll notice that I'm talking a little bit quicker in this video. It is entirely because I've already recorded this and it did so with the wrong microphone. And I don't want to run through all of this again at like full speed. It was like a 15-minute video. Ah, well. Also, let me know what you think in the comments down below about the Meslier decision. I think he was a little bit of a nutcase. Wrong thing to do completely. And then his replacement wasn't fantastic either. Carl Darlow got a 3.82, and I have to be completely honest with you, I do not hugely rate him as a goalkeeper. We've seen him in the cup matches so far this season where he's conceded goals because of his positioning, and I think he did it again. His positioning on the second goal was subpar. He was a couple of feet too far to the right because he'd seen all match long what Liam Miller was trying to do was get onto his right foot, cut inside, have a go into the far corner. And yet Darlow is a lot closer to his near post. He's not sort of adjusted for what Miller's been doing all game, and that meant that it was 2-1. That dropped the 1 point that we'd gotten, and the one thing that was making sure we didn't lose ground on Ipswich yesterday. In defence, however, he wasn't hugely helped out by Archie Gray. He struggled. 3.18 for Archie Gray in this match, and that's because Liam Miller caused massive problems to the extent that someone said, stop playing Archie at right back in the comments on the forum. Completely understandable, but I think it's an issue with the squad at the moment rather than Archie. Who do you play at right back? Jed Spence, so who goes to the left? You don't want to make 17-year-old Archie Gray, who is already playing out of position at fullback, play on the other side at fullback when he might not be confident enough on that foot. Spence is more experienced, I completely understand him playing over there instead. There's an argument for Firpo, to be fair. However, do you really want Firpo in that position, and do you feel safer if it's Junior Firpo? Outside of that, in the defence, the centre-backs did okay. You gave Joe Rodon a 6.64. Pascal Strout got the man of the match at 7.47 because those two centre-backs were all over the pitch. Strout was a little bit higher because he scored the goal, sure. But the centre-backs were tracking back, bringing the ball forward to make sure that we had an attack every single time we had the ball to try and get back into the match. Jed Spence was a little bit lower rated with a 5.37, but honestly, when he comes off early because we've gone down to 10 men, it's really hard to accurately rate everybody. I think Strauch and Rodon were a fundamental part of us progressing the ball in the late part of the game, fundamental part of them not getting all of the chances that they could have had, and it worked for us. Mostly. They did score too. In midfield, they did okay, but again, I think it's only fair to rate them until the red card. Ethan Ampadu and Glenn Kamara held a lot of good control. They're averaging about 5, and that was completely fine, I think. Ilya Gruev as well. When he came on, he put himself about, tried to win the ball wherever he could and make sure that we were progressing it properly and getting all the chances we could to get back into the game. However, when we're down to 10 men, they have more men in midfield anyway because they play a 5-3-2. It's going to be really hard to grab any control over that match, and it's completely understandable that these players looked a little bit worse despite the fact there wasn't much they could do. They'd been a little bit betrayed by their goalkeeper in this one. In attack, Crescencio Somerville didn't have the typical magic that you expect. 4.83. Dan James, similarly low, but he did a lot of good work on winning that penalty. Dan James is an absolute fiend for slower defences, and if he's able to sort of put a little bit more of his footballing mind into things, I think we'll do a significant amount better. Someone that struggled more than those two, and I agree, and I said that he'd struggle in my pre-match preview, is Joel Peru. This was not the game for him. We knew going into it, Preston would sit back. They play with a 5-3-2 or 3-5-2 or whatever the hell you want to call it when they've got wing backs. And we knew they'd sit in. We knew they'd be deep. We knew they wouldn't come at us, and we wouldn't be able to play that transitional stuff that PERIL absolutely thrives in. So we need someone more creative in the 10. Could have been Nonto, and it wasn't. We weren't going to get the chances, and it was going to be Joel PERIL who wouldn't be able to have those shots. Didn't work out. We ended up losing 2-1. It's going to happen. And then, even though it wasn't necessarily time for Joel PERIL to do quite well, Jorginho Rutter did his best. He tried to create everything that he could, but it just didn't work out. He did that thing that he does where he just has the ball, puts himself between the defender and the ball, and goes, wherever you go, I will find a route around and I will create a chance. He was very creative. There wasn't the finishing in the side, and they packed in really deep, so any balls that he did put in didn't quite make it. One of those annoying matches, but it's fine. These happen in the Championship. It's normal. Off the bench, we saw a trio of attacking players who didn't quite have the influence that we sort of expected. Willie Nonto got himself a 4.27, notably better than Joel PERIL. Patrick Bamford got himself a 3.77, and Mateo Joseph weirdly got a comment on the form with someone saying that he can't control the ball. I think there's an argument for him getting a little bit more 21s football. Same for Charlie Cresswell, just to make sure that they're match fit. If we ever call upon them, we want them to be able to play good football, and to do that, you need to have played competitive stuff recently, and I think the 21s is perfect for that. But it's not happening for some reason. Finally, we come to Daniel Farke. He got himself a 3.73, and it's easy to see why. Preston is one of those games that you need to win if you want to go up in the Championship. We'll have another go at it at home, but whether or not it happens, we don't know yet. Basically, I think he made mistakes with his team selection. He didn't give Preston enough to think about. His substitutions after the red card, I feel, could have been a little bit better. Ultimately, I'm a little bit annoyed that we didn't catch up on Ipswich when, between them and Leicester, one of them was bound to lose points. We screwed up, and I don't think there's any shame in saying that in this match. And yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed in it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't yet, that'd be massively appreciated, and I will see you later.